We all make mistakes. That doesn't stop filmmakers from making them. Sometimes they go undiscovered, resulting in them not making it into the final cut. Even Marvel made so many mistakes in certain things that they don't want us to remember. Here are 10 things that they want us to forget. Before we get further, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified by our latest videos. Alright, let's get to it. At number 10, the time traveling tape. The late 60s and early 70s soundtrack are one of the most distinctive aspects of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Thanks to the tapes that Peter Quill has preserved since his mother died, we have that awesome soundtrack. Peter's mother died in 1988, so it's safe to assume the tapes were made before she died, but the branding in the mixtapes can be seen, indicating that they are TDK CD2 cassette tapes, which were only issued in '93. Even though it was a tiny miscalculation, the producers should have detected it. At number 9, the time jump gone wrong. Spider-Man Homecoming, which was set 8 years before the main action. The events of Captain America Civil War were reportedly taken up after the events of Spider-Man, which was set in the year it was published, 2017. Even the director acknowledged that the film's 8 years later time shift is inaccurate. While it may appear to us that there was a 5-year gap between the start of the movie and the setup of Homecoming in real time, but in the MCU timeline there should have only been a 5-year gap between the start of the movie and the setup of Homecoming. And number 8, spelling errors. On a television screen in Thor, the term perimeter is spelled perimeter. During S.H.I.E.L.D.'s reconnaissance of Thor's hammer, it appears that no one thought to use spell check. Then there's a scene in Iron Man 2 where Tony Stark has to testify before the U.S. Senate Armed Services Committee, and everything is well there. At number 7, accident or improve. Many scenes in Guardians of the Galaxy were improvised, it turns out. This is mostly due to Chris Pratt's reputation for improvising his scenes while filming. The Collector, who offers up an orb taken from the planet Morag, is introduced to Star-Lord and his Guardians at the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Surprisingly, he forgets about it. He had no idea he was carrying an Infinity Stone at the moment. Is that improvised or unintentional? It turns out that the sequence was not staged and that Chris Pratt made an honest mistake. However, the director liked it and honored to opt it and preserve it in the final version of GTOG because it was funny. At number 6, the airplane windows. In Iron Man 3, a bad guy smashes a hole in the Air Force One, allowing 13 individuals to drop to their deaths. Air Force One is the president of the United States transportation. Naturally, the jet is outfitted with tight security and bulletproof windows to safeguard the president. Producers, on the other hand, choose to overlook this issue. This could be a mistake, or it could simply be a product of Marvel's imagination. At number 5, lights and sound. Because both light and sound travel at the same speed in their movies, the MCU's creators surely struggled in physics class when they were in high school. One example is Tony Stark's Jericho missile. The earth-shattering sound of this missile exploding is heard before we see the lightning of the explosions. Another example is Thor's hammer. A sonic boom created by Thor's hammer can be seen and heard in the same time. Both of these situations challenge physics. Light travels quicker than you, just so you know. At number 4, safety line. The chaotic highway fight scene in Age of Ultron is undoubtedly the best scene in the film, with everything looking so real. In any case, in the film, Captain America battles Ultron by jumping on top of a moving truck. Cap's fight and determination to restore peace are demonstrated at this moment. Naturally, Chris Evans lacks the strength of his co-star Steve Rogers, so for a little moment you can see actor Chris Evans being held by a safety rope as he hangs from the side of the truck's cab. At number 3, Cap's military pants. After receiving the Super Soldier Serum, Steve Rogers is transformed from a 95-pound weakling who appears to be starving into a taller man with big muscles and abs for days. He's shirtless, but the jeans he wore when he went under are still on him. His thighs, glutes, and calves would have been buffed up if he hadn't been buff. This alteration of Roberts was brought about by a business that specializes in digital aesthetic augmentation, but even Supervisor Edson Williams can make a mistake. They were so concerned about Evans' biceps that they missed ripping Evans' jeans tight. At number 2, Black Widow's superpowered hair. Natasha Romanoff, or the Black Widow, is kidnapped by henchmen early on in the Avengers. When she discovers what has happened to her friend Clint Barton, she chooses to flee. She's handcuffed to a chair and the henchman is standing behind her, so she headbutts him in the back and she's free. The issue is that the henchman's too far away and her gentle brushing of his face is not enough to knock him out. So her hair has superpowers as well. In all honesty, they should have simply made the henchman leaning closer to her to make the scene more interesting and convincing. At number 1, the Triskelion has been disappearing power. The Washington headquarters of S.H.I.E.L.D. is known as the Triskelion. The Triskelion bursts toward the end of Captain America the Winter Soldier. However, if you have God's eyes, you'll notice that the structure is missing from the skyline early in the video. This structure is removed from the view as Captain America or Steve Rogers goes for his morning run in the movie's opening scene. Someone's forgotten to include it. It's interesting how no one seems to notice or care because everyone seems to be too engrossed in Sam and Steve's humorous banter. Well guys, that's it for this one. What'd you think about it? Let us know in the comments below. If you're new to our channel, be sure to sub and ring that bell to get notified about our latest videos. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.